Trump has now passed an executive order that will deport rowdy H-1B students who are celebrating or promoting Hamas.
Good.
Yeah, I would say that you could probably do this to H-1Bs too. You are not protected by the First Amendment, I don't believe, when you're an honorary member of this country, right? I don't.
Well, they're not citizens, so.
Right. I just worry a little bit about, okay, we can see this was from AIPAC sponsored this. Are we going to say, what about the H-1Bs that march for BLM and they get rowdy? Like, shouldn't it apply to all of that too? I would say. Yeah.
I get worried about free expression because I think that generally we like it here. On the other hand, I think Trump's major deportation for any kind of immigration being like, if you're here promoting a terrorist organization, you probably shouldn't be here, seems extremely logical.
Yes.
Right? Like BLM is a little bit more nuanced because for the most part, it's pretty much domestic. It's not that I support it, but it is a domestic movement. Coming in and being like, that Hamas has some great points and maybe we should talk about it. Like, very different in terms of national security.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say the flip side, since it's easy to root against these people, but like, can we see, like, can you make a case against this, Styx?
I mean, you could say, well, they're just expressing themselves, but you're expressing yourselves in favor of quite literal terrorism. And it's not an arbitrary definition of a terrorist organization. I would say that if somebody is not a citizen of the United States, even if they're a lawful resident, so they're here, being educated, they're working, whatever the hell they happen to be doing, why would you go into another country? You clearly want to be there and work towards citizenship.
Yeah.
Why are you going out of your way to cause problems? Shouldn't you be busy studying or doing whatever you're doing? It's a mixed bag issue. There is some nuance there because these people, I mean, they are on temporary residency and so forth, work permits and so forth.
They do have a different set of rules, don't they?
Yeah, there's a different set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Constitution doesn't fully apply to them in that sense, as far as expression and things like that. I have sympathy for some of them because some of them, they genuinely believe that they're fighting for what's right. I can understand that. But some of them are just being pernicious. And in that sense, if they're supporting a literal terrorist organization as duly designated by an act of Congress, I'd say, if you want to deport them, I don't have a problem with that.
What about you?
Also pragmatism, they're causing problems in the country. So,
which would, as generally, like, you're not allowed to do crime when you're here on these like special visas. Mm-hmm. And I think that applies to basically all of them. I think.
Yeah,
which is why I think it's more
simple. Of these people are blocking traffic and stuff like that. I mean, you are committing a crime.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's kind of simple. Like, if you are here and you commit crimes while on your visa, violating the terms of the visa, then you should leave.
Yeah.
I don't know that it has to be more. I mean, maybe I don't know that I would make an exception. Oh, well, they're fighting for the oppressed people in whatever country, or they're doing whatever. Like, when you accept a visa, when you sign up for a visa, you know what you're agreeing to, and there are risks. This is true of anybody who's protesting in the U.S., right? Like, domestic protesters accept the fact that they will probably be arrested or do whatever. That's why the left is so good at organizing bailout funds. And if you were here on a visa, unfortunately, you have to be more careful. You have to be more strategic in your decisions. And if you would rather protest and commit a crime than stay in the country, then you risk being deported. That doesn't seem that complicated to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that it's not that they're protesting that would lead to the deportation, how I understand it.
No.
It is that if they commit
it has to be
crimes,
more material support and a crime or something like that. Yeah. Nobody wants to deport somebody simply for protesting.
No, but if you're like lighting a car on fire, if you're, throwing rocks or whatever you're doing, like, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this says he signed an executive order. This says the U.S. is pushing Israel and Hamas to keep its ceasefire in place. blah blah blah. They won't do that. Where is this? I don't know if he's actually. I found 2 articles about this.
King of
Trump ordered
Biltong actually has a little bit of a skivvy there. You
Yeah.
apparently need to get a permit to protest, which I don't agree with, but it is the law of the land in some states.
in some
You
cities.
cannot just
Yeah.
go and cause havoc.
Yeah, this says that he's going to sign an executive order instructing all federal agencies to identify civil and criminal authorities available to combat anti-Semitism. This I don't like, though. This is, you're allowed to be anti-Semitic. This is one of the, you take the good with the bad with Trump and his allegiances to certain nations, including finding ways to deport anti-Jewish activists who violate laws. Now, I don't care if they violate the law, they should be deported anyway.
Yeah.
When you're in any other country, you have to follow their laws lest you be deported. This happens in Canada all the time when people want to go to Canada and take part in recreational things that are legal there that aren't legal anywhere else, near here and all that. You have to follow the laws. So I just don't think that this is unique to the United States, but I am concerned that we're passing laws against anti-Semitism. You're allowed to be, and I'm not anti-Semitic, and I have a strict rule about noticing before noon. I follow, you don't hear me spouting a lot of the stuff that people will at times. I think Israel is too involved in our government, but I don't have any issue with Jewish people or any of that kind of stuff. But I have a huge issue if we're passing laws to protect them from people's criticisms or their racism. Racism's not illegal. I don't like it. I disavow it. But I don't like the idea that we may be passing laws to chill speech
Regulate
against
people's speech.
Yeah, that I don't agree with.
Now, insofar as it's that targeted, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
But the idea of casting people out of the country if they're on a visa, work visa, student visa, whatever, if they're if they're doing criminal things, it shouldn't matter. It doesn't have to be against Jews or anything like that.
Right.
Simply, if they make a Facebook post saying, "Oh, I like Hamas," I wouldn't kick them out of the country. I would just roll my eyes. But if they're marching through the streets and bashing in, the local bagel store,
Yeah, right.
That's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I even care if they do a Facebook post saying that they like Hamas. I'm fine with them getting bent. I actually don't care. To me, you're in this country. You should be living up to an insanely high standard.
Yeah.
So if
you
they're
don't have
like,
the First
I
Amendment.
like Hamas, you're cool. But what if they were like, I am a member of Hamas, I swear allegiance to it? Is there a difference between the two posts?
Well, then you're not just getting deported. You're going to jail. In my opinion, I'm not gonna let you I'm not gonna catch and release you.
Yeah, I think the fear with a lot of it is that people who are pro Gaza, they feel as though Israel is being too aggressive, are concerned that this means that they won't be allowed to fight for whatever their cause is. And I think it's more nuanced than that. And I think everybody can see that. I'm not expecting the kids in Colombia who had that protest and took over the building at Columbia, to face crazy jail time for being supporters of terrorism. I think they're dumb kids who are protesting this socially woke cause. But if you were here on a student visa, then yes, committing any kind of crime would risk the student visa.
Yeah.
That's just how that works.
That is one of the nuances.
That's probably already the law, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That is one of the nuances, is that younger people, they can be retarded. And older people, they should know better. And a lot of this is college student protests, in some cases, even younger than that, and they're joining in. If they're committing a meaningful crime, like something beyond a petty misdemeanor, so they're assaulting a cop, they're burning a car, they're burning down Wendy's or something, deportation is perfectly appropriate. But they still have to be able to speak their mind. The basic right of free expression should be extended to people who aren't citizens as well. but those expressions are limited. If you're making terroristic threats or something like that, then that would fall outside of the law, you know?
Yeah, I reluctantly agree. I think like it is weird. I am worried. I don't really want to be having laws to combat anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Do we have laws?
Or that
to protect
anti-Semitism bill that got just
Yeah.
completely trashed when Congress was like, but Trump supports it. It's like that doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
He's got other things he's got to focus on. I mean, focus on the border, focus on, you know, taxes, focus on the economy, which has been wrecked by Joe Biden, focus on diplomacy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is an afterthought issue.
Yeah, I'd just say be careful, Trump. I know you love Israel, okay? I know for whatever reasons I'm not educated on, but let's not be passing laws that would even get close to infringing on American citizens' rights.